Hello, I'm Steve Quarry to talk to you about Task 911, which is a school meals pilot initiative to stimulate short food supply chains in Serbia. I represent the European Training Academy together with my colleagues Ratko Bojovic and Richard Simmons. Also representing the Belgrade University Faculty of Economics, we have Jelena Filipovic and her team. And the final team taking part in this activity is the Ministry of Education in Serbia, represented by Daniela Šepanović. The issue. So at the start of our project, there was anecdotal information which said that the quality of school meals in Serbia was poor. So the objectives of this pilot scheme have been to improve school meal quality through improving the public sector food procurement procedures, through increasing the use of local suppliers, short food supply chains, and finally through joint action research with Task 951, looking at the supply side. The focus of our activities has been children starting primary school education, 7 to 8-year-olds, primary schools making their own meals in their own kitchens, primary schools in urban and rural areas of Serbia, and primary schools which were accessible to the Strength2Food personnel. We had a number of challenges to overcome. Challenge number one was lack of information at the beginning of the project on these aspects. Secondly, we had to make sure that the requirements of the law for food procurement were respected, and perhaps the biggest challenge that we had was persuading stakeholder groups to change their behavior. Here is a map of Serbia showing you where our schools are that we've been working with. The ones in black are the target schools, 29 of those using school kitchens for their meals. We also had, for some of the work, control schools, 7 of those which were using a caterer. You'll see the different colour shading in the background of Serbia. That represents the level of poverty around the country, and you'll see that we included a wide range of poverty levels from very low, Belgrade, Novi Sad, to the highest around Osečina in the west of Serbia. The action research required a range of activities, and these are listed here. Firstly, schools questionnaire to identify the meal structure. Over 900 schools completed the questionnaire in 2016 and 17. Secondly, food procurement documents were downloaded and analysed, and over 4,000 of those have been looked at so far. Thirdly, school visits were carried out to collect information directly from the schools and discuss the results of the project, and until October 2017, 66 school visits were carried out, and many more since then. We carried out a children's food preferences instrument, and over 4,000 children completed this. And we also had over 3,000 parents complete another instrument looking at parents' food knowledge, attitudes and practices. And 2,000 of those children also had their parents complete the instrument. We've also looked at food diaries that children were carrying out for 1 week, and we had 419 children complete these diaries. And the final activity was looking at children's nutritional knowledge, and the instrument was completed by 576 children and has since been analysed. So what have we achieved in our 5 years working on this task? Excel Meal Planner, which is a tool developed for nutritional analysis of school meals. It will analyse breakfast, lunch, 2 snacks per day for 2 weeks. A number of lunch menus have been developed, 2 weeks winter and 2 weeks summer, which are nutritionally balanced. Educational resources targeting mainly children have been developed, and we now have recommendation for 6 stakeholder groups: schools, teachers, children, cooks, parents, and finally policymakers. We have now 1 school using organic vegetables for lunch. We have a 2nd school now planning to use organic vegetables for lunch. And we have also developed a website in Serbian, specifically targeting those stakeholder groups that I mentioned above. Take-home messages from all of this. School meals are currently extremely variable in nutritional quantity and quality. Lunch nutritional quality can be improved while making meals cheaper for the parents. Procurement law, it seems, is not an obstacle for giving good quality food in schools. We've collected evidence that shows that meal quality is often better in schools making their own meals than in those using a caterer. And regarding organic vegetables, we found that children's meals using organic vegetables is realistic, with only small increases overall in the annual food budgets, less than 10%, for schools in Belgrade and Novi Sad. And to finish, I'm going to show you some aspects of the Serbian website which we have developed recently. So this is the homepage of the website, and you'll see the menus up at the top are for schools, teachers, children, cooks, parents. We have news and interviews regarding the project, and although it says recommendations here, recommendations are now being transferred to the individual menus. So you'll see here we now have project results, educational material, other documents, initiatives, and finally recommendations for each of the stakeholder groups in the project. So with that, I'm going to finish this presentation, and thank you for watching.